Overpowered. This is a term that used to describe anime characters in the simple way of being stronger than the rest of the characters in the show. They destroy everyone, barely break a sweat, and show instant domination. But what if the spotlight is too much and attention is unneeded? Well, they simply act ordinary or pretend to be weak. This is why today's video is all about overpowered anime protagonists that pretend to be ordinary but are secretly overpowered. Sit back and enjoy the anime recommendations.
How the hell did he create a barrier that impenetrable? It's soaking up my Arctis Obscura without so much as a dent!
Basically in a wave.
We kick this list off with Reincarnated as the 7th Prince. Now, have you ever wondered how it feels to cross-dress and become a Shota, but best of all, become the 7th Prince of the Royal Kingdom with a bunch of maids that make up a harem? Well then, I guess this is the type of reincarnation series you need. In his previous life, he could barely use magic in a powerful way, but now he is Prince Lloyd, a prodigy with huge potential and overpowered magic who hides his abilities from everyone else. Yet his personal maid is actually catching on to realize just how strong the prince really is. It's generic, predictable, yet ever so addicting with plenty of action, fan service, and best of all, a second season that is airing right now. Before we continue with the video, a word from today's sponsor, and that is Tokyo Treat. This is a monthly subscription snack box packed with delicious and tasty popular snacks all the way from Japan. You get to experience Japan and its culture from the comfort of your home, as each month you get rare Kit Kat flavors alongside limited edition cup noodles. This month for Tokyo Treat, it's all about the Summer Matsuri Snack Fest. Summer in Japan means the rhythm of takyo drums, lively bon odori dances, and glowing lanterns lighting up the night. Check out the yummy strawberry cotton candy, the soy sauce corn puffs, DIY candy apple, and kagori jelly, honey fried rice crackers, and of course the Kit Kat chocolate orange. It is time for you to get your hands on these tasty Japanese snacks straight to your home. Grab your own box right now whenever you can and use my code ANIMERECON to get $5 off of your first box, or simply click the link in the description to purchase a box with my code ready to use. Once again, a big thank you to Tokyo Treat for sponsoring this video, and now it's time to get back to those anime recommendations that you've been waiting for. Trust me when I say this, but you guys could really use some Donghua Chinese anime. So, here is one that's been on my mind on this specific list, and it's 4-Cut Hero. The most powerful hero had defeated the Great Demon Lord, but now he decides to retire, become an average otaku shut in neat, and relaxes by watching anime all day long. Yet, he still gets caught in epic events such as old legends and fights and villains that needs to be taken care of, and as you all know, once a hero, always a hero, because his duties aren't over just yet. But I just wonder if enemies he will face will know just how strong this kid really is. Next up, the Unwanted Undead Adventurer. Nothing but an underrated gem of a series that portrays a protagonist so perfectly in an overpowered state that makes a lot of sense. He was a weakling human, killing low-leveled mobs until getting destroyed by a mighty dragon. But instead of dying, however, he was then reincarnated, or let's just say he was in the form of an undead ghoul hiding in the dungeon, killing mobs and leveling up to get stronger. The guy needs to get his body back, and to do that, he must get stronger by defeating enemies. It makes a lot of sense that he is overpowered from being a monster and is completely unwanted in society until he gets his humanity back. So, what happens when you work too hard and have the biggest mission, which is to wipe out humans for good? But before that, the big boss needs a day off rest. So instead, he decides to explore Earth and act as a normal citizen.
ママ指さしちゃダメよ。
まあいい。
Mr. Villain's Day Off is a very humble fantasy anime about the villain boss going to the zoo, getting ice cream, relaxing and chilling on his day off before he gets back to work and destroys humanity for good. Think of it as like a vacation from evil deeds, as this is a mix of fantasy and slice of life of the show of how the boss spends his day on Earth with humans before going back to work, that is. I wonder if he might actually have a change of heart afterwards.
生後1ヶ月で歩くことができた。それも空中を。1歳ともなると。
あら、二輪が切れてるわ。くーちゃん。
初めての。
Psyche K. He was born with extraordinary powers of psychic abilities and insane powers that is able to fly at only 1 month old. His parents may know about his powers, but that certainly is different at school because he needs to hide his powers and appear ordinary with his classmates. But whatever he tries to do, anything at all, which is primarily avoid people, everyone just can't really help but find Psyche so interesting and wish to hang out with him. Well, looks like the disastrous life begins as Psyche can't really get the peace he truly wanted and is often always the center of attention. Witness comedy gold in this glorious anime across its 2 seasons of non-stop humor and laughs. The main protagonist, Rick Gladiator, is a mere E-rank weak adventurer who doesn't really seem all that special because he is a 30-year-old man who was too late to train at a young age to get powerful enough to become an adventurer.
よし、迎え撃つぞ。下か。くそ、間に合うか。
However, the most powerful elite guild decides to take Rick and train him into an unstoppable force through brutal training and non-stop terror, bringing out his maximum power to where nothing can even defeat him anymore. Now, despite being overpowered, he still appears to be an E rank as he didn't really take the rank up exams to go further in the ranks. Now, everyone who will face Rick will be shocked by just how overpowered this E rank guy really is. This Demon Lord anime is one of the best in its tropes to release in the recent years, let me tell you that. It is just so unexpected in its plot and its theme is so gorgeous and exciting to witness. Demon Lord Veltal was defeated by the hero and years have passed by ever since to where the world has changed, technology has advanced, and the entire world is a futuristic era with large buildings, LED screens, and much more. Veltal then reincarnates back to the same world that he was defeated in, and things look, well, different. It seems everyone can now use magic thanks to a special chip, and Veltal has appeared to grow weak. He needs power and a way to assemble his old squad that was disbanded years ago. So, what Veltal does next was quite unexpected, and that he becomes a streamer for people to watch. A simple-looking man named Beryl, who is a retired swordmaster, now lives in peace in the countryside until one day one of his students returned to him with very good news, which brings this master back in action.
だから読むことはできる。副団長の決め技だ。受けても逃げてもやられる必殺の光剣。
Okay, look here. Beryl is not... He doesn't look like a master because all of his students actually surpassed him in rank as they are all S rank now. However, duty calls him back to become the sword instructor of the Liberian army to train them and his students once more. You know, as they have much more to learn from this low-ranking retired master swordsman who is actually a powerhouse not to be messed with. Okay, I think you all know what time it is. It's time for another Donghua Chinese anime recommendation, and a perfect recommendation for this list. That is the daily life of the immortal king. Wang Ling killed the Demon Lord as a baby child, and now as a teenage boy, he is sent off to school to live a normal life and make friends. But what everyone doesn't truly realize is how Wang Ling can wipe this earth in a mere few seconds. But his ultimate power is actually being suppressed by a magical amulet that his parents gave him that slowly breaks over time. Now, Wang Ling will hide his overwhelming powers from his peers, but proceeds to somehow flex his powers. But not many know the true extent of his capabilities, especially during his rage. For my last recommendation, and I don't think many of you actually remember or completely probably forgot about this, and that is Kekai Sensei in Battle Blockade. A young man who is trying to pursue photography ended up getting the power of the all-seeing god in exchange for his sister's eyes. A very strong power that allowed him to join with a special team called Libra to help him discover more about his powers. It's a misadventure in a strange world with strange people in this extraordinary life that Leo has gotten himself into. Eye powers, to me, are pretty badass in my opinion. Not many of them around these days, but Kekai Sensen is truly one of the better series to check out. Well, it looks like the act of pretending is out of the bag and it's time to show just how powerful you really are, but we all know just how weak you really are as a human. But if you did enjoy, then please do drop a like to show your support and subscribe to stay notified of all my latest uploads here on YouTube. Take care everyone, and I'll be seeing you all in the next one.